Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. And this is another Back to the Basics. Obadiah 1 verse 18 is about to take place, because you have certain individuals that claim they know the scriptures, like Vocab and others, that say, oh, that already took place. Well, even the chat, and I even went to Google and I went to AI mode. So let's see what it says, what both of these sites say concerning Edom. Just back to the basics. Bear with me for a minute. So I just simply put in Obadiah 1:18 as chat GPT, Obadiah 1:18. This is from the ESV, English Standard Version, which reads pretty much the same way as King James. King James is Old English. Reads, the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. Now, why would the Most High say the house of Jacob will be a fire and the house of Joseph a flame? Because wasn't Jacob's name changed to Israel? And Joseph was the father of Ephraim and Manasseh. So Joseph is not even one of the tribes. He contributed to the tribe through his two sons. So now when you read this represents Jacob. Sometimes the word Jacob, I will have mercy on Jacob, Isaiah 14, and will yet choose Israel. I will have mercy on Jacob sometimes referred to Israelites. Sometimes it refers to the kingdom of Judah. And sometimes Joseph, the house of Joseph, refers to the northern kingdom. So let's read again. This is back to the basics. It said the house of Jacob, which is Judah, shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. Now, when you look up the word flame in the Hebrew, go back to Obadiah in the Hebrew. The word fire means pretty much fire, and flame means like matter of fact, let me just go to it. Just wait for it. Okay. I want to go to the King James. And we know who we have identified. The Edomites, Esau, the descendants of Esau. You got this one video that the elder out of Baltimore, Jake, stands up and goes to bat for Esau more than Esau. Jake is the main defenders of this whole Edomite thing. And in that video, he said he purchased 100 books to prove that the white man, they're not the Edomites. Well, where are the Edomites then? And some of these clowns say, oh, they're the Arabs. Okay. All right. When did the Arabs go up into the set their nest up among the stars? The Arabs got a space program? So shut up. It says the house, this is in the King James, the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. Now I want to look up the word flame. And one of the definitions is the tip of a spear. So when somebody says, "Oh, Obadiah, Esau was done away with," Obadiah 1 verse 18 already took place. Then they'll give you certain dates. Well, the chat and Google AI mode says different. Okay, so the word is lahab. Or lahaba, which means flame, tip of weapon, point, head of spear. Like a fireplace, you put a log in there, you set it on fire, and you put the poker in there. And that's like the tip of a spear to open up the wood so the fire can, if you just leave a big log on fire, it is not going to burn right. You got to, when it starts getting broken down by the fire, you stab it and you open it up so that fire could get in the middle of that log, if you know what I mean. So they're going to come together. See, this is why it's obvious. Trump wants to get rid of these Latin tribes because I don't know if he knows. I don't know if they went up there and told him, but the elite know that we all right as long as Judah is raising hell and Ephraim is not really raising hell. When Ephraim and Judah come together, that's the two kingdoms, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom come. That's what they're really afraid of, pursuant to Isaiah chapter 11. Verse 11 on down. Because if it was just, that when Ephraim started coming up here, it was like after World War II, really like the 50s. And then Simeon came like in the 60s, early 60s. Another bunch of them came in the 80s. So you got millions of Dominicans that, they live up in Canada. I know that for a fact. I've been up there a couple of times. Dominicans up there. New York, Florida. A lot of the East Coast, whether it be north or south. Got Simeonite that went into the military, went into other countries. So, if Judah was just raising hell, Esau really ain't got no problem with that. But when Ephraim and Judah come together, because you got a lot of Judites that get Judite men that get Ephraimite women, and Ephraim men that get Judite women, and I know that for a fact. And they'll have, like bi-tribal babies. They'll have Jake father in the, or like I remember this one individual. He was, I'm not gonna go into his business, but he was in a movie. He was a break dancer, and he was in a particular movie. And I met him, and I hang out with him, and I met his brother. And I went to his house. He was living in Harlem, but his mother was Ephraim, straight up Ephraim, and his father was dark-skinned Jake, but he looked like Ephraim. He didn't look like you got Jake and you. He looked straight up like Ephraim, but he was actually a Judite. So anyway. Let me see here. Okay, so let me come back over here. This is back to the basics, like I said. It said the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. The two kingdoms coming together. Trump wants to push the northern kingdom out, and then he's want to get. You notice, he ain't worried about people coming from Canada. That's a border too. He's controlling the north, the southern border. Like I said, give me a second. Go ahead. Okay, you didn't. Okay. drives good though. I don't know why. I don't know why he did that. All right, thank you. All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Bye. Forgive me for that. It said in the house of Esau for stubble. Let me look up the word stubble. Okay. Let me go to Google. Meaning. The cut stalks of grain plants left strictly out of the sticking out of the ground after the grain is harvested, like the residue. Short, stiff hairs growing on a part of the body that has not been shaved for a while. Okay, biblical. Let's look this up. In the Bible, stubble is used to typify worthless, inflammable material. That's what Esau is. He's worthless, inflammable. He can be set on fire material. Exodus 15 verse 7, Job 13 and 25, Job 41 20 to 29, Psalms 83 and 13, Isaiah 5 and 24, 1 Corinthians 3 and 12. So let's go into the Hebrew. This is why we go into these root words. House of Esau for stubble. The word is quash. Quashas. Stubble. Chaff. If something burns down, you have the remains. That's like stubble. Like if it's a forest fire in the woods, you got all that burnt out, and then at the bottom you got the charred remains. So that's actually gonna happen. So they are gonna go to hell, and they're gonna go to hell, but they're gonna go back in the spiritual realm. Doesn't go into details at all about how whether Esau is coming back, whether he's going to come back as a Canaanite or whether he's going to be mingled among the other nations. We know we're not going to see Esau anymore, period. You're not going to have a nation. Well, these are the Edomites. They're not going to be around. They're going to disappear. The other nations, they're going to be around. The so-called table of nations in Genesis chapter 10, all those nations are going to be around. So, what's going to happen to Esau? I can only speculate that he can come back as maybe a Hamite or Arab or whatever. But Job said that in Job chapter 20. We're not going to see him no more. So we're gonna make them disappear. But the tribes are gonna do it. All the Latin tribes have been kissing Esau's ass for years. They ain't gonna be kissing his ass no more. Marrying among them. They shall burn them and consume them. They're gonna be totally done away with. And there shall be no survivor for the house of Esau. None of them. Now this blackhead, bubble-eyed blackfish, that clown from the GOCC, he maintains that Edomites are going to be in the kingdom forever. They're going to have certain high positions. And they're not going to be done away with. And we don't even acknowledge that dude. He's so gone. He's so gone. He believes in a hell like Nate. He doesn't believe in reincarnation. He doesn't even call on the true name of the Most High and His Son. So the Most High gonna get him. For the Yahweh has spoken. So if the Most High said this is gonna happen, it's gonna happen. So the question is, when did this happen? When did this happen? The answer is it didn't happen. It's yet to happen. Explanation. And Esau, the Edomites know that they're the Edomites, okay? That's why they play this thing. They set up certain people. They pay certain people off. It says, this verse is part of the prophetic book of Obadiah, which focuses on the judgment of Edom, or the Edomites, descendants of Esau, for their violence and betrayal against Israel, mainly Judah, descendants of Jacob. That was Babylon. That was Judah. It was the kingdom of Judah that was left, and a few of the tribes, some of the tribe members from the northern kingdom. Verse 18 uses vivid imagery. And this is a vision that Obadiah saw, and he wrote it down, just like any other prophet. House of Jacob a fire, house of Joseph a flame, symbolizing power, purification. Because once we get rid of this devil, he's a poison. He's a toxin. So we're gonna get rid of him. And divine meaning from the Most High. So the Most High is with this. This is the Most High's judgment anyway, but he's going to use the two kingdoms, two houses to come together to take this man out. But they're going to go into captivity for a certain remnant of time. Then we're just going to get rid of him. We're going to take out the trash, so to speak. It says judgment coming from Israel, house of Esau, stubble. We read stubble, signifying something easily consumed and destroyed. No survivor. A prophecy of total destruction or judgment against Edom. A prophecy of total, 100% destruction or judgment against Edom. And it's going to be divine. And divine judgment coming from Israel. No survivor. A prophecy of total destruction and judgment against Edom, the Edomites, every last one of them. as the scriptures say, for Yahweh have spoken. Now, because Yahweh said it, so it's going to come to pass. If he says it, he's not a man. Romans 3:3. He's not a man that he should lie. For Yahweh have spoken it underscores the certainty and divine authority of this prophecy. That means it's going to come to pass. It's yet to come to pass. Would you like a comparison of this verse in different translations or more historical context? Let me see. Let me go to okay, so this is, you can read all of this. It says pretty much the same thing. But I wanted to come down here. They're also known as Idumea. As you can see, future fulfillment according to some interpretations. The prophecy of Obadiah also looks toward a future. So the scholars are looking at it. It's yet to happen, because they would have had the information on it. You know, you would have been able, oh, this is the place where the two kingdoms came back together. They never came back together. When Esau came against the kingdom of Judah during the Babylonian Empire, there's no record of them from that particular time, which is about 500, 600 years BC. You can go through the Greeks, the Romans, the medieval times. No record of them coming back together. So when Christopher Columbus came over here, no record of them coming back together. So they came back together in our time. Ephraim started to come over here in the 50s. A couple years after World War II. And then all the tribes started coming, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. All the tribes are here. Like I said, Trump is trying to push these tribes back, because I believe he's getting his marching orders so they can upset the prophecies. It says, according to some interpretations, the prophecy of Obadiah also looks toward a future final fulfillment when Yahweh HaMashiach returns. So it's going to happen when the Lord come back, or after the Lord comes back, because they got to go into captivity first, right? It says, in this final fulfillment, all of the Most High's people from all nations, all nations, meaning land, parts of the land of the earth, the Most High's people are Israelites. From all nations will be gathered together, and everyone will recognize the Lord's sovereignty. This perspective aligns with the broader theme of the Day of Yahweh, a concept in Obadiah that refers to a time of divine retribution for all nations. Obadiah also speaks of a future time when Israel, or the Israelites, will return from exile. We are in exile. Look up the word exile. It means in not so many words, you're in your homeland. They take you, the enemy pushes you out of your homeland to another land. We're exile in America, or wherever we may be. Exile and possess the land of Edom, because the land of Edom is south of Judah, along with other territories. Some believe that the full scope of this prophecy, including the complete possession of the land, because we're going to have power over the whole earth. The headquarters is going to be in the land of Palestine. Has not yet come to pass. Let me read that again. Some believe that the full scope of this prophecy, Obadiah 1:18, including the complete possession of the land, has not yet come to pass, and they're correct. In summary, Obadiah 1:18 has a historical context relating to the judgment of Edom, or the Edomites, following the Babylonian conquest of Judah, the kingdom of Judah, or Yahweh, in the 6th century BC. And it also points to a future ultimate fulfillment connected to the return of the Yahushai and the establishment of God's kingdom. God's kingdom is coming, the Most High's kingdom is coming for who? The Israelites. What other prophecies talk about Edom's fate besides Obadiah? Let me see. I thought this was a pull down. Let me just click on that. Yes, several other prophecies in the Old Testament talk about the fate of Edom. Jeremiah 49:7-22, we're familiar with that. Ezekiel 25:12-14, we're familiar with that. Ezekiel 35:1-15, we're familiar with that. Isaiah 34, we damn sure familiar with that because it mentions Edom. Well, all these scriptures all mention Edom, the Edomites. These are all future prophecies. Isaiah 34:5-15, Amos 1:11-12. It says Amos denounces Edom for its unrelenting anger towards Israel, and prophecies that fire will consume its stronghold. Malachi 1:3. That tells you that they're the wicked. The wicked, and I put a list together, which I've yet to go into that. I put in the word the wicked, and I cherry picked some words out of that. Wow, have they been listening to us? Because they bringing it out in the order. I mean, this is a list right here, and it's in order too. Lamentation 4:21-22. Back to the basics, back to the basics, back to the basics. So if I ask any of you brothers that's been in the thing for 6 months, if I pull you to the side, give me the whole breakdown on Obadiah, you better break it down right. This passage reminds Edom that they will also face the Most High's judgment, all Edomites, just as Jerusalem did. Right, all the Israelites, we all suffered the punishment in one way or another. Edom's punishment will be complete. This is why Trump is moving, so he's being pushed. He's a hand puppet. You know, he's Ronald McDonald. He's Philip Green from a casino, the front guy. The guys in the background, they know that they're going down. They know that they're the Edomite kingdom, and their sins will be exposed. Joel 3:19. Joel declares that Edom, mention the word Edom, will become a desolation. Right, that's talking about that also goes into the northern army. Wasteland because of the violence it inflicted on Judah and the innocent blood it shed. Let me go to that. So as the mafia said, close the book, close the book, close the book. And all you niggas that turn your back on the plow, the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, is going to get you. Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of, give me a second here. What was I reading? Let me see. Give me a second, y'all. Oh, I was thinking about, what was I thinking about 2 and 19? It's 3 and 19. It's 3 and 19. So guess what? Joel 3 and 19, Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolation, a desolate wilderness, for the violence against the children of Judah, Yahweh, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. But Yahweh shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem from generation to generation. That means Gog and Magog is not going to come and get us, Nate. You got to change it. It said we're gonna dwell. We shall dwell forever, but Yahweh shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem from generation to generation. For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed, for Yahweh dwelleth in Zion. Right, because pursuant to Revelation 21, this great spirit is going to be among the Israelites. Let's come back over here. Psalms 137. All these precepts, these scriptures mention the Edomites. Numbers 24 mentions the Edomites. Isaiah 14 started 11 verse and mentions Edomites. They've been watching us because they putting these precepts together just like the same order that we put them together. Ezekiel 32 and 29. We don't use this one too much. This passage describes Edom kings and princes being laid low, with those killed by the sword. So anyway, I'm going to say shalom on to the next shalom.